Welcome to the Be My Own Boss podcast. This is episode 40, and I'm your host, Mike Hruby. And today we're continuing with the second part of a two-part series to talk about the recession and how you can prosper no matter what the forecast as an independent contractor. We titled it, Can a Self-Employer Beat a Downturn? Like, a downturn is huge, and I'm one person or two people, and we're so small. But the matter of fact is, yes, you're also nimble, you're ingenious, you're resourceful, you don't run away from opportunities, you don't run away from problems, and that puts you ahead of easily the other half of the economy. So the answer is yes. We're going to see how that you could actually make that happen today. Going to talk about the practical things you can actually do. As living proof, perhaps, that that a self-employer can beat a recession. I've been through the 1990 to 1991 recession. I've been through the 2001 meltdown, savings and loan. I've been through the 08-09, the Great Recession. And I've been through the short 2020 recession. So one more recession is, after a while, it just like, okay, it's something you go through. So the media talks about, what's going to happen, and they're selling doom. We're not selling doom. And they say consumer confidence is shrinking and retail sales are declining. And we've got tariffs coming, and that's going to crater the economy, and trade will go away, and so many constraints. And all these government employees are going to be laid off. It's the end of the economy. Well, actually, let's look at some different factors that you can really work with. Taxes are going down. That's huge. It's many people's biggest single expense. And after that comes fuel and the cost of doing business. Those are going down. Fuel alone will make costs going down will make an enormous difference in everyone's business, whether all you do is drive to work or drive to where your clients are or whatever you do. But the lower fuel costs is a major boom to the economy. Enormous amounts of business investment are coming over. And remember, that investment you should be able to put some of that in your pocket, because investment in a manufacturing facility or a distribution facility is gigantic, and all of it involves parts, equipment, deliveries, installation, analytics, financing, service of the plant once it's up. There's additional manufacturing plants that we have been shipping overseas by indirect but concerted action. That problem is going away, and we're going to have manufacturing back here again. As an alumni of Cleveland, born there, I've watched this process where they simply carve out the entire economy, and that's coming back. I hope every city benefits from it, and I hope you can benefit from it. So, all you have to do is survive. You can improve, and you can grow. What's the very first thing you should do with your head when you think about this? Well, you're an independent contractor. Make it a project. Yes. Just tell yourself, we're going to make a project out of this. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We should be able to tell pretty much where we are by the signals that we read in the economy. And I mean, after all, you're in business. Just because you're small doesn't mean you're not in business. And we're gonna create a plan for you. You're gonna create a plan. We're gonna give you the template, and you can have fun, and you can prosper, and you can ignore all the dire warnings. Because if your income goes up and you're doing better work and your schedule is easier, you're going to do fine. You're going to do fine. Been through it. What I'd like you to do is to start by thinking through the praise that you've gotten from your customers, your patients, your clients, the people you work for, the people you work with. Think of the compliments they paid you. That's what's important, because those are rare clues to your strengths and to what other people see as your value added. Always start with those. Don't worry about your weaknesses. There isn't time to fix them. Same with me. Try to just paper over them. Try not to make them shoot you. Let them shoot you in the foot. Keep moving. Smile. And be easy to deal with. Think about the feedback they've given you. Think about what your strengths are, because that's where you want to concentrate when you adjust your business and your career to fit the changes that a recession brings. You're going to build on those strengths, and the customers will tell you. They're just little clues. They don't gush over you. It's not like your great aunt coming to a picnic and telling you what a fabulous niece or nephew or anything like that is. You're going to build on your strengths. This is business judgment. It's a business proposition. You can start with your customer list. Take a look through it. Prioritize it. Think through again what they told you. That's of value. What were you good at? Why'd they like dealing with you? What went well on that project that you did from, or that series, or the ride, or whatever? Think about your markets, the markets that you serve. Add to them any that you'd like to serve. Where else would you like to work? This is the time to make it possible, because a recession affects everybody. They're all looking for something new, and maybe you're the guy to deliver it. Think about the services you deliver. Is this everything you could? What could you add to it? What would be a combination? What would be helpful to other people? And if you're limited to a lot of your contact comes through a platform, ask yourself, are there additional platforms that you can find work on, put into your toolkit? You remember how many different platforms are on most drivers' dashboards? Think about that. Use that as a model, and use all the benefits of the modern technological presentation that we're allowed to use as independent contractors. And that's a important point to repeat again, is that the recession is as hard on the other guy as it is on you. And you have to understand that despite the frowny face, and the orders are behind, we're cutting way back, I'm sure we can use independent contractors, pressure from above, etc. You want to be the driver to find your way through. And if it's not through that client, maybe it's through a competitor, maybe it's through another guy, maybe it's through someone else who works in that retail mall. Whatever it is, you want to be driving this. So you want to be taking the initiative. Your mood is probably the best thing you can maintain, because only you control your mood. Only you control your attitude. And if you can be positive, especially in a recession, that stands out. It does for me. I'm optimistic about recessions because I think that you can look through them. If you're in business, you're self-reliant. You don't need to wait for anybody. That's why you're nimble. You can just make the improvement. You can say yes if someone offers you something slightly oddball, slightly different. Say yes, sure, try it. I remember the advice that an advisor to me that I value very much. He says, well, Mike, try everything, absolutely everything you can think of, and then repeat what works. And that's still true. It is still true. Try everything. Don't write it off. You never know. The next guy you talk to might be the guy that wants that. So as you talk to these people, share your ideas with them. Tell them it's a recession, so we're coming up with new ideas. We'd like to be better. We'd like to have better coverage. We'd like to have a broader product offering, broader service offering, and talk to them about what's new, because that's really what they're going to be interested in. You can sell the idea of new to them. They can take your new idea and discuss it with someone else. Even if the previous discussion was cutting back, if you're doing something new, maybe we shouldn't cut that back. We cut away the other stuff that we know a lot about. Maybe this will work better. So you want to be taking innovation and initiative out as a product to sell in addition to your regular line. In the marketing world, there are planning vectors. This just means different directions you can take to think about your product and to think about your service. And especially in recession, you're going to see people discussing it. It'll be in the media. People will, and it'll be in the advertising. And people will say, "We're doing this. We're cutting back." The first thing that always happens in a recession is that people, manufacturers and service providers, go back to the basics. They streamline it. They reduce their costs. They reduce the price barriers to people buying it, people being able to afford it or fitting into their grocery cart or whatever. They go back to basics. What if you went back to basics? Do you have something that's really snazzy? What if it were less snazzy? Would that be helpful? Could you reduce the cost? Did you take out a part you don't want to build and make that your offering? You take it out, you're happier. Your costs go down 10%. You take out 5% for them. It's a cost decrease. They might love it. And if they're basics, if there's a basic opportunity, maybe there's also a premium opportunity. Some people will buy up in a recession because it could cover more cost that they can now take out. So never concede the premium zone. The higher price, the better, more responsive, whatever, faster, better, cheaper, whatever it is, there's always a premium market out there. You might have to sell it to a different customer, but it's out there waiting for you. As you talk about premium, then you start talking about specialties. Specialties may be pulling something. It's the kind of thing where you can pull from your kit bag and say, "Hey, I worked on this before. We can do this now." And it's kind of specialized, but it gives us a chance to talk to them about something different that you do that's highly specialized. Not everyone would want, but they're even a little flattered by that as you tell them that this offering is available. And it's not for everybody, but for some guys, like in your business, it's some sort of line of product line or a service line that is good for them. Specialty brings up customized. Go whole hog. Do exactly what they want. Price it. See how well they excuse me, traveler. Hello, traveler. Good to see you. Glad you can see us. Custom. Do it their way. Price it right, and be prepared to commit to doing what they ask you, and learn it first. Make sure you know the goal, and put that goal in your contract with them. So be really clear. Protect yourself in a recession. Some guys will be trying to claw the work back, or I want to cancel, whatever. Make sure it's in writing, but offer custom where necessary. Custom brings up the idea of packages, packaged services. This is if you find that there's a core line of business that you produce a lot of, then see if you can offer it as a package. Packages give you the opportunity to completely move people away from how much time and how much money you had to spend in order to do the job, and you allow them to focus on, it'll be $25,000 for this amount of work, and we're going to deliver it for you by the 5th of August, and we've got it all locked in. And here's the package. Here's what you're going to get. That kind of thing is, they're not thinking about how many hours you put into it. You think it over the course of those so many, whatever. They have some sort of mental billing rate that they assign to you, and they have no idea what your billing rate or how much time goes into it. And the better you get, the more you can make by selling packages of services, especially in a recession. When people are they're trying to fit whatever budget they give you, they're trying to fit it in with a whole bunch of other things. All the top management wants is compressing the cost of everything. So you've got to fit in. Packages are a good way of carving out your revenue out of their spending. Taking your time, looking at the chat. Hello, Rideshare. How are you? Welcome. Now, as you think of packages with specific deliverable dates, think about the idea of overflow help. And the first time I heard about doing this, I thought, I don't like that. I don't like being excess. But then I thought, wait a minute. I'm an independent contractor. I'm always excess. Everywhere I go. Mike, embrace it. I told myself, that's fine. If the guy gives you a job, it's a kind of a downturn. Take the work. Be proud. So I did, and I've wherever appropriate, I said, look, we'll take what you can't deliver yourself, and we'll do that work, and we'll get better. You can compare what we do with what you do. And in a couple places, we actually replaced the in-house staff. And eventually, that client told me, we started as Overflow, that client told me, you were the gold standard that we judged all the other vendors by. And that has made me proud ever since I heard it. But overflow is the way what you're doing is the guy is going to try to put 5 quarts of project into 4 quarts of time and budget, and he just can't deal with the extra until the time he absolutely has to. He can make sure he goes and gets his budget. But that's a great way to do a first project and to do repeat business, because once you repeat, they know what you're going to do. So you want to you want to give him the opportunity to sell your services into the corporation, and the overflow gives him an even better justification for using you. So if you're looking for a way to go around and talk to 10 customers, then overflow is a great thing to ask for. And it doesn't imply that you're worse. It just implies you're flexible and you can respond. Just when his people are completely gummed up, completely jammed up, you're here, white knight, big horse, ready to go and refreshed, and you are the replacement team for that, rather than hiring. Oh boy, you don't want to hire in a recession. Okay, so now we've opened up. With overflow, we've opened up the idea of emergency too. So you can also sell your services in an emergency and say, we can be prepared, whatever this is, we'll be prepared to do this work for you when you need it on an emergency basis. Now, you got to think about that. First of all, you have to, before you promise it, you have to be completely accept your responsibility to drop everything. When he, as I said, got a fire drill, Mike, let's get this thing going. You've got to be ready to go. Yep, we're dropping everything and we're going to do it. That is a great way to sell specialty services, because you can't be replaced. The guy's really going to be dependent on you. He wants to see how ethically you handle this emergency. If you handle it right, he is really going to love you and want your services more and to rely on you more in the future. So this is one of those made for Hollywood opportunities to show your stuff and to be absolutely splendid when it's your solo. As you do this, as you think about the emergency case of dropping everything, you have to prepare your context, your project context, and be prepared so that you can move other clients' workload to a little later, shuffle all the pieces around, and fit in this emergency work. You can do that. It just takes planning. and you have to find the clients that don't really need it. They don't need it until 3-4 weeks from now. Be prepared. Give them a later delivery date, a delivery date late enough to provide some slack in case you do get an emergency, and it comes up, and you want to do both. You want to do the emergency in the short term and his project in the second term. That's completely legitimate as long as you tell him, here's when I'm planning on delivering it, and then you want to have the capacity to keep fitting stuff in. But shuffling your schedule, making scheduling skill improvements is a big opportunity. No one can see that you're doing it. No one cares because you've given them deadlines and the work plan and whatever they need along the way. You're just, here, we're going to do this work. You've seen it happen in garages. You come in with something because you literally haven't got any cars working at home, and they'll find a way to change the guy's oil later in the day. They'll figure it out. It's that kind of emergency scheduling that allows you to say yes, allows them to say yes, and it keeps everybody happy. So emergencies are a great way to scheduling and emergencies is a great skill to acquire. Finally, there's another little trick that's pretty esoteric, and that is what I call pairing. There are some businesses that go with other pairings, that go with other businesses. And a great example that everybody has in their neighborhood in the lousy weather part of the country is the combination of landscaping services and snow plowing. Now, the part of the house you landscape is not the part you plow, so it's an expansion. It's a different season, but it's still the same pickup truck. And you're using a snowplow instead of a trailer filled with mowers and blowers and everything. But that's the kind of thing that helps you pair those, the cold weather and hot weather businesses, you pair them together, and you make more money throughout the year with no particular increase. Maybe you need a plow, okay, fine. But it's still you and the equipment and the residential or commercial real estate. So I call that a business pairing, and you can find them. They're in odd places. They make for interesting stories, but it's doing one thing that leads to another at the buying site, and it's an expansion, and it's a big help. And if you haven't explored it, think about it during a recession when new needs, new urgencies are all in place and bubbling to the surface. So thinking back to that recession, can a self-employer beat a downturn? And if you think, I'm going to use this downturn to give myself new choices, and I'm going to give my clients new choices too, you are going to come out of this recession smelling like a rose and looking like one too. You're just going to be fantastic. Guys are going to love you for your innovativeness, your offering of something new to them, your concern, your absolute commitment to serving them and taking your care of yourself. If you can take care of yourself in your business, you figure he'll figure he'll to be able to take care of mine. So with that, we've got new choices for you and your client. You'll be able to grow, to expand, and to thrive. So keeping in mind, recessions have a beginning. That's where we are right now. They have a middle, and they have an end, and you can get through them and get out of them and prosper. So that's the message. Looking for questions. If there are any questions on this in the chat, I will be happy to take them. Do my best with them. You can also leave questions in the comments after the episode is hosted on YouTube. So just wanted to say thank you all, and wanted to say hi to Diesel Wendy, and again to Rideshare Rodeo, and to Traveler. Appreciate very much you all being here, and we're got good things planned ahead. We hope to see you at the next in the next episode. And with that, thank you, and good luck in the recession, and stay in touch. I'm on